Hey guys, how you doing? This is jpsarrireviews coming to you once again with another live stream. We've been doing a series of live streams for those that are probably watching this for the first time. For the last couple of days, I've been having a lot of fun with a lot of the San Diego Comic Con stuff. We've been covering a lot of different companies. We started with collectible, big collectibles, more expensive collectible statues and props, replicas, and now we're moving into in this case, the action figures. And of course, a lot of companies were at San Diego Comic Con as usual. There were a lot of toy reveals. But today, I want to cover a lot of the companies like Tamashii Nations just this morning, because I'm planning to do another live streams later today, one at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then one at 7 p.m. And that way I can finalize all the different action figures companies that we have already covered. But definitely there's a lot of stuff today. I want to cover Tamashii Nations, Bandai, Banpresto, all the companies that come from Asia, all the cool stuff, all the pretty much all the anime stuff, all the Japanese IPs. We're gonna cover all of that. So here's the list of the stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Square Enix. We're talking about PlayArtSky, Kingdom Hearts, all the stuff that they showcase at their booth. We're going to have talk about Toynami. They're doing a lot of Robotech stuff, Acid Rain. So we're going to look into all of that. Of course, Tamashii Nations, which definitely they have a big array of companies, Bandai products, Banpresto. So that primarily anything that is SH figure arts, anything that has to do with Dragon Ball. We're going to talk about then Storm Collectibles, which is the company that I really care about. I really like a lot of stuff from Storm Collectibles. Pretty nice action figures. So we're going to cover all of this, and let's have some fun with it. If you have any questions, please post your questions below in the comments and the chat, and let me know if you have any comments to make. I will respond to them. So thank you very much for your time, and I want to say thank you to everyone that is tuning in, everyone that is watching, and everyone that is going to watch later on. So let's just start with the beginning. At the beginning, let's go to let me open this window. We're going to go to ToyArk. I've been using ToyArk as reference. I enjoy ToyArk. So we're going to go to a Square Enix booth first, and the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy stuff they showcase. And we're going to these pictures. Now this is Kingdom Hearts action figures. These are around 7 inches. That's the standard for them. They're highly articulated pieces. Now these action figures are not cheap. I was just checking the prices at Big Bad Toy Store. You can get some of these at some GameStops. They have some of their figures, but they're not cheap at all, which it's surprising. But a lot of this stuff that comes from Asia tends to be more expensive. I don't know if it's because of the import costs, and they're highly sold out by a lot of anime, manga fans. Pretty neat stuff with a lot of articulation if you're into in this case, this video game. Not really that much. I have a friend that has a daughter. Well, that was years ago. That loved the series back then, and I'm sure that she's still a fan. Grew up with that. Kingdom Hearts 3, Bring Ours, Shadow Set. We're gonna look in a moment. We're gonna go to some other websites like Big Bad Toy Store and also maybe GameStop to look at prices if they have it on pre-order. Pretty neat pieces. They're not cheap, but they have a lot of little detail. Love Mickey in the background. I'm sure that that's not going to be a cheap one. Bring Arts. Let me go to Big Bad Toy right now, so that way we have an idea of prices. Ooh. This is one that we saw earlier. We're gonna see in a moment. This is a set, $179. It's $180 for these figures. They're huge. And we're gonna see some pictures in comparison to the others, but they're all plastic and they're only like 13 inches, so they're technically in the 5-inch range. In my opinion, they are too expensive for what they're really offering. But here you can see this is the little Art Shadow 2-pack that we saw is $50 a pack. Pretty high. I would say it's more like $30. This is the figure that we saw, the Kingdom Hearts right here, $69, $70 for that tiny figure. And that's my only concern about price point. It's a cute figure, but it's less than 6 inches tall. Tiny. For $70, definitely it's too expensive. And I'm sure Mickey is going to be even more expensive. Let me see if they have Mickey on pre-order. $70, $80. I'm guessing you can. This is for a different thing. You can weapons for other figures. I don't think they have it on pre-order yet, so probably they were just showcasing it. Oh, that one right there. That's a Kingdom Hearts pre-order. That's $60. I think that's the one. Yeah, it's brings art. That's the one. $60. That's pretty steep, in my opinion. It's kind of like that one. I don't know if it has a different variation in the face. King Mickey. Okay. I don't think the one we saw was King Mickey. Oh, that's just a different website. I think that's just the basic Mickey. $60. I'm guessing it's going to be around the same price. Yeah. It's not on pre-order yet, but they're showcasing it. So you can see the setup right here of these figures. That's the set that I was telling you right here. $180 for this little set. I think that's too much money. It's a cute piece. Has a lot of detail, but it's all plastic. Like some other companies that do, like, you know, they have a little metal parts. Like we were looking yesterday at, what was the name? Hiya Toys? It was Hiya Toys. No, not Hiya Toys. It was another companies that we were looking at. I don't remember which one. What was that? Beast Kingdom. And some of the figures, they, according to this, they have some die-cast parts. So that, you know, explained the price, but still it was a lot cheaper than this. And I thought it was expensive. They're cute though. The price, I don't see it. But if you really like these little things, you know, you're a fan of this, if you're collecting them, I imagine that that's one of the reasons why they sell, and they sell well. And one of the reasons why they bring into America, they showcase San Diego Comic-Con, is because people buy them. And I know that they've been showcasing these figures for quite some time. Now, this is kind of like a big one, and I'm guessing this one is going to be also a big price with that figure. They're cool for what they are. Little pieces. They have articulation. Love the face. I think that it's a good portrait right there. Look, the little frog. That's a cool piece right here. This guy, Amaranth Coral. I think that's another set. So I'm guessing they're selling this as sets if they're all together. And they have done that. You can see some other pieces. Yeah, they're like they sell sets for Dragon Quest. So definitely they're selling this as sets. So it's good. They're gonna be around that price, 150, 160 range. And this is Big Bad Toy Store prices, which are not bad in comparison to others. I don't see. This is what they have for sale. Let me check at GameStop. Let's see if they have anything for that. Bring Arts, same thing. They have the same figures, $60. Have it on order, $89. So everything else, what they have in store. They don't have much going on there, but that gives you an idea. So a lot of this stuff is showcased for the first time, but I'm guessing it's going to be around that price range. They're like coming in sets. Let me go back so you can look at some of the detail. And again, I want to say thank you for those that are watching and spending time going through the videos. These videos, of course, are going to be uploaded to my channel. You can watch them later on to your own convenience as well. This is a pretty nice looking piece. I love the portraits, actually. They're not bad. Again, they're small, but they're not bad pieces. They're pretty nice. They have, it looks like nice articulation. They're nice figures. I'm just not convinced about the price point. This is a big. I love big figures for some reason. I always have this fascination with huge figures. This one has a lot of articulation. This set is $180. That's too much money. I can buy a statue with that. So this is the end for this, for the Kingdom Hearts display. But that's not the only thing they also were showcasing there. Let's go. They have some the Final Fantasy VII Remake. These are a little larger pieces. This Play Art Sky, so they had more articulation. And of course, everybody's excited about the upcoming game, the remake. So they had a really nice display, kind of based on the game. You can see there, a lot of people were there. And they have this really nice figures. And these are more expensive. They're probably in the $100 range, 80, 90, 100. They can be even more than that, based on previous. They have the pre-order now, the first class edition. This is with the motorcycle. Well, this is the thing for the video game. That comes with the statue, the whole edition. I don't remember how much it is, but it's not cheap. Now, Play Art Sky, they had this figure, if I'm not mistaken, or they had a figure. I don't know if this is just, yeah, I think this is part of the figure. They made one before, but that's like around $300, almost $400. Completely sold out. Let me see. I'll show you. I go to GameStop because I know that they had it there. So when they produced that one, the Final Fantasy Advent Children, Cloud Strife, and Fenrir Play Art Sky figure set, when this came out, $369.99. That's what it was when, well, that's what they were selling now. Super expensive. And this is kind of like, what, you know, this is just based in the new game. So let me see what is the price of that one, if they have it on Final Fantasy. I'll tell you how much that edition is going to cost. Well, they don't have the thing. I think you have to go prior to Square Enix website. Let's do it. Let's look it up. We have the store. I'm guessing you can do pre-orders there. I don't know if they have this or it's probably someplace else. Very excited for Outriders. The commercial was pretty neat. Looking forward to know more about that game. So I don't see prices. So I don't know if it's just a Japan exclusive collector's editions. Like, look at there. Let's see if they have anything there. You see all the Final Fantasy stuff. They announced it. Maybe it's not on pre-order yet. I just wanted to know. But I'm sure it's going to be up there in price. Probably it's not in pre-order yet. Probably it's going to be pre-order at some point. Let me close this window. Let me go back to this picture. This is for the PS4, the whole thing. They showcased this at E3. They talk about it. So it comes with a figure. Pretty neat. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be all over this. And they have the picture right here. And this is the one that was showcased before. Well, this is the one for the game now. But based on what you see right here on GameStop website, let me see if we can get back to it. This is from the Advent Children, so this is from a different video game. Well, different, but it's kind of like the same thing. It's just they change it a little bit, but definitely expensive when this came out. So now you can see how much this is going to be. Around that price. Nice piece though with the motorcycle. I like this kind of stuff. Some of these are already on pre-order. Let me go to Big Bad Toys. I'm going through page to page, so I apologize if I'm changing too much. It's just I want to be able to get all the information right, so I can tell you. So you can see 150. That's the average price for the Player's Sky. It can be cheaper depending on how old they are, but as you can see, many that are in stock. The most recent one, the Marvel stuff and all that stuff is up there. As you can see right there, Crazy Core, Cheetos in the display, $149 already on display. So I tell you, $150 for that piece. They have a lot of articulation, so you can imagine that this is going to be pretty much over $300 just for that one with the motorcycle easily. Just the motorcycle alone is more expensive than the figure because of the detail. Pretty neat though. If you're really a fan of Final Fantasy and you're excited for the remake, has a lot of detail. I like the paint job and all. Then definitely this is something that I'm sure that you're considering getting for your collection. Now, of course, you got the other pieces in the collection, as you can see. Very cool pieces. Likeness is there. Again, they're going to be $150. Barrett, Tifa. like her boots, actually. Well done. Definitely that remake looks pretty neat, pretty cool. If you saw the trailer, you have watched the trailer, you haven't, I recommend it. You're gonna like it. They have a hybrid system for the RPG. Some people are not excited about that, but definitely I think it's more modern and it's bringing Final Fantasy to the forefront, in my opinion. Pretty look, pretty neat. The look. So it looks great. Great paint job. You can get this one now. I think the other ones are still on pre-order, or they're gonna be on pre-order. And of course this one, the showcase there. Pretty nice display. I think this is over. We're done with that. So definitely, I would say up there in price. But if you are a fan of the this the Square Enix, or in this case of the game, definitely whether you're a fan of in this case of the Player's Sky or the Bring Arts, you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts or a fan of Final Fantasy, definitely these are things to consider. So now let's move on to the next company. This is Toynami, another company that is right now specializing with a lot of stuff on Robotech. They really had a lot of Robotech stuff on display, and definitely very neat stuff. And we're going to look it up. Let me go to the website. We're gonna still on Toyar, but in a moment probably gonna have to look it up somewhere else as well. I don't want this. I don't know why it pop up. Or maybe okay, right there. That's what it is. So let's go to Toynami. It's right there. Let's start with some of the stuff they have there. They were showcasing stuff for Robotech and Acid Rain. Some pretty cool stuff. Very small figures on the 4-inch, so tiny little figures. But I grew up with Robotech, so to me this is very cool. Now you have the figures for Acid Rain. Pretty cool stuff. A lot of stuff that they were showcasing. A lot of stuff that is coming soon. Tiny little figures. Very nice articulated. If you're creating dioramas, definitely these are fantastic. Pretty cool. A lot of unpainted stuff. But I like it. If you really love to create diorama stuff, definitely Toynami has this with the Acid Rain product line they have. Love this one in the background. Love the detail. Nice articulation. Pretty cool. You can see different shots, different angles. Like that one. Really like this stuff. The turret right there. The soldier holding the big gun. All of this, of course, some of them they're event exclusives, like this. You can get them in there. But a lot of stuff, of course, that is coming soon. Field Green Commander. Reminiscence of all those, remember back in the day, those soldiers that we used to play with, the tiny little plastic soldiers. But now, of course, this has articulation with making super cute and super nice. I remember the little armies that you used to play when you were a kid. Well, this is it. This is the thing. But this has articulation and you can create dioramas. Very neat stuff. You can get the motorcycles. Love the boxes. You can put the parts together. That's a cool one right there. Super neat. Love the detail. They're very small figures. These are small figures. They're tiny. But man, they're, even though they're less than 4 inches, they're a lot less. But even though they're so small, they had so much detail. Look at this one right here. This is huge. This is not gonna be cheap. Let me go to Big Bad Toy Store and see if we can get some Acid Rain stuff. That'll tell you the price. So you can see these figures. Acid Rain by Toys Alliance. Which is Toynami, it's distributed by Toynami. There's some pre-order, 72. They're a 1/18 scale. They're tiny, made of plastic, hardly articulated, but there's $72 for that little thing. Very tiny piece. But they highly collectible. A lot of people love them, make displays with them. They're small, tiny. As you can see, these are the painted ones. $34. So you have different ones. This is Acid Rain by Ori Toy. Well, these are different, if I'm not mistaken. These are different companies. But as you can see, everyone is doing something. Well, I think these are different. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think these are different companies that they produce stuff for Acid Rain. In any case, this is the stuff that Toynami is bringing. I think these are smaller. Yeah, theirs are smaller. So I don't think there's a price point yet on those. Oh, this is the painted one. Let me go to Acid Rain website. Let's see if we can find this stuff there. Acid Rain. I should have just looked Acid Rain Toys or something. Acid Rain World. I don't know if they have any information there. Oh, this are the 1/18. This is a different product maker. Okay. So we don't have anything. All right. So I think you have to keep your eyes open. A lot of the stuff is, I think they were showcasing for the first time. Maybe we can go to Toynami website. I didn't think about that. Let's see if they have something there. Right there, Acid Rain. Let me see this one right here. This is just for the thing. Soul Commander. They're all 118. So I'm guessing it's going to be around the same price. Alright, so they really don't have much. Toynami doesn't really have much going on their website. They just tell you where to go. We're not going to do that, but as you can see, the little figures are pretty cool. Tiny, small, but definitely if you're looking to create displays and stuff, dioramas, and you like this kind of stuff, military, you know, futuristic, militaristic stuff with tiny figures, you know, definitely this is something worth checking out. Love the little, I've always loved miniature. One of the things that I loved since I was a kid, before I was really a statue collector, an action figure collector, or anything, the things that I loved the most were train sets. I love train sets, and I love miniature escapes and dioramas. Something that I always have a fascination for. And I think that got me into action figure collecting and stuff. You know, when I was a kid, I had a lot of toy lines, and I kind of collect them. I was always very, you know, type of person. I have a collector mindset. You know, I really didn't like to play with my toys just to create dioramas. But then, of course, that took me into statue collecting. But my first love is always going back to that kind of stuff. The tiny little things, the miniature, the train sets, the models, you know, ships and die casts, all of that. That's always been a fascination of mine. That's what we saw. They're not cheap at all, like we saw in the prices. But they're pretty cool. They had such a huge display, as you can see right there. Huge display. A lot of stuff. And then, of course, they went into the Robotech stuff, which is the 4 inches posable figure series, which I'm a big fan of Robotech. I grew up in Mexico, and as most children that grew up in Mexico back in the 80s, we loved Robotech. It was a big time. Robotech was very popular. I think after probably Messenger C, I think the biggest show that came afterwards, Messenger C, was huge in the late 70s, in the 80s in Latin America. But I think the biggest one afterwards, in my opinion, was Robotech. Robotech was huge for a long time. There were others, but the ones I remember the most, of course, besides Transformers and all of that, but coming directly from, I would say from Japan, that was Robotech. And of course, then Saint Seiya became really huge years after that. And there, of course, there's always been a lot of influence in Latin America in the art and the style and the cartoonists and all that. They take a lot of influence from a lot of this mecha cartoons, these cartoons from, you know, from Japan, the anime. We used to watch a lot of stuff in Latin America, even before he made it to, in Mexico, even before he made it to America, to North America. We had a lot of this cartoons and TV shows. So we have a lot of good memories. So they got the little figures, and I saw them at right there. The set is $60. It's a wave of 2 set of 5 postable action figures by Toynami, $59 at Big Bad Toy Store. They had a lot of Robotech stuff. 54s. I think prices are pretty decent for a lot of the Robotech stuff they have. They also have some Naruto stuff, but what they had on display was a lot of Robotech scale figures. As you can see, these were on the ground floor. I like her. I like her in the cartoon, but I like the likeness is very pretty good. Max Sterling. And you can see they got these figures. A lot of people were very happy with the in this case, the scale. They had a t-shirt, of course, the models. I love those models. So you can see they had a big display with a lot of models. And they have all the different characters. Claudia Grant, she was always very nice in the cartoon. Very small, very smart, very friendly. And I think she was the friend of the other girl. This girl right here, Lisa. gave her advice and all that. If I remember well, this Henry Global, he was the captain or whatever. Yeah. I'm very, Rick Hunter, all this. Of course, they have the names that were known in the American cartoon. Like the likeness. Definitely, this is cute. Definitely, probably, I'm gonna get this. Just, I don't know. I love Robotech, and I do have the old DVD collection that came out some years ago. I would love to see this show on, remaster back again, but now on Blu-ray. That would be perfect. A lot of them. They have this one. I saw this at their website. This one actually, it's like very neat and super expensive. They only producing 100 of them worldwide. So if you want to have like a very nice thing for Robotech, the Veritech Valkyrie and all that stuff, super cool. I wouldn't pay too much money for it, but I'm sure it's not gonna be cheap. So definitely that's what Toynami was showcasing. They had a lot of models also. It's not in the pictures here. A lot of models. Let me see there on figures.com. A lot of models for... Let me see. They showcase it here. Toynami. And this is figures.com. So you can see there's some pictures of the models. This nice big picture. Those are super nice. I like those models. Let me see if there's more pictures there. Different angles. Already saw those. Of course, Toynami was showcasing the ECC stuff. I don't think there's anything else. Nah, that's it. They don't have... Hold on, let me see. There are some Robotech stuff. Tiny little toys for Robotech. Blind box. Don't care about them. Now they got the Armored Valkyrie. I like this one. This limited. Those are more my cup of tea. Their figures again. We saw them already. But definitely this is the one I really like. Those are the ones I like. So definitely they had that on display as well. Well, I can tell you one thing. Definitely Toynami was showcasing some good stuff. Really cool stuff. I wouldn't say that they're like, ooh, super... some of the stuff is like, I would say like they're so highly detailed like we have seen in the past. Of some of those Robotech, some of those Valkyries I have seen so huge and full of lighting and all that kind of stuff. But definitely they had some really cool stuff if you like the miniature stuff. Now we need to move to Tamashii Nations. Tamashii Nations distribute a lot of stuff for Bandai, Banpresto, and also they cover Storm Collectibles. So they had a nice display, and they had a lot of stuff to showcase as well, and definitely some really cool stuff. And let's go to, let me show you. I'm going back to Toy Arc in this case, and we're going to look at Tamashii, and I saw that's Toynami stuff. This is the only thing about going through all this different website. The Toy Arc is nice. I love Toy Arc because they have a lot of stuff, but you have to really go through everything to really find what you're looking for, and you need to know exactly what you're looking for. So this is the Tamashii Nations stuff that they were showcasing there, and a lot of stuff for different brands, Bandai stuff and all that. But one of the things that they've been showcasing a lot, it's this the Star Wars meet, like Samurai Warrior stuff, and it's been very popular with more, also Marvel. They've been doing a lot of stuff with that, and they're really neat. I wouldn't say that I wasn't crazy when it came out. I talked about it I think 2 years ago in this channel, but definitely it's been very popular, and I really like it. And definitely they had some really neat display. I like particularly the stormtroopers with the samurai, suits and samurai outfits that look fantastic. Definitely nice detail. I would never assume, that there's something that I will be interested on, but definitely it's been growing on me. I like it more and more. They're doing a fantastic job with it. And definitely some of them are already out for sale. Some are coming out for sale. So as you can see, pretty neat stuff, pretty well articulated. Very nice. As you can see, the Ronin Jango Fett is on sale now. The Shadow Trooper on sale. Darth Maul is on sale. So they tell you what is on sale. Now, what's coming out, some Star Troopers, the First Order Troopers, the Kylo Ren, Captain Phasma is coming out later this year. So that's the one you're looking at. Now, they also have the Marvel stuff. And as you can see, those are not as crazy about. Perhaps just Wolverine, as some of them. I like the, look and see right here, Darth Maul right there. Really nice. I like the other ones. But this is something extremely cool. Some people might find it very interesting. And as you can see, they already have all of them on for sale. The only one that is coming out is Wolverine. And I think the one that I like the most. Very cool. You can see the X right there from the X-Men. Pretty nice colors, pretty nice. Definitely they have done a fantastic job. They also have some other figures for the SH figure Ultraman. The SHF, you know, the SH figures are pretty much the bread and butter of Bandai stuff. So they have these figures there. Love this pose, classic Ultraman pose. Let me go into a Big Bad Toy Store. And let me see. A lot of Tamashii Nations stuff. Bandai Spirits. Let me see Bandai. Well, they have the Bandai stuff, but for Star Wars, also SH figure arts that are coming very soon, which are really expensive. But they're showcasing that kind of stuff. I see some, you can see right here, the Star Trooper Realization Sand Trooper, $74.99, $89.99. So these figures are not cheap at all. So the price can vary between the cheapest you can find on those samurai stuff is like $90, $100 an average, $80 perhaps the cheapest, like this Darth Maul right here. The movie Realization, $76. This Trooper, they're not cheap at all. The figure arts can go for more. All right, let's go back to this. Love the pose for Ultraman. Those figures are nice too. Also for the same for Ultraman. SH figure arts. Probably going to be $60, $70 when they come out. Now this is another one that is being very popular with some collectors. Is the Street Fighter stuff. As you can see, they have some really cool articulation. I've never been so crazy about some of the stuff that Bandai does. And this HF figure arts is Bandai stuff from Tamashii Nations. Some stuff is cool, like for example this guy being electrocuted. I like that kind of stuff, but you know, for me a lot of the stuff from Bandai is a hit or miss. You know, it's always been like that. I've been collecting a lot of Bandai stuff since a lot of the old cartoons from the 80s, back in the 90s and stuff. I remember I used to collect some of those figures for Saint Seiya, you know, and they were very expensive back in the day. When I was a kid, you know, I have to ask my parents for those. But even though they were so expensive, they had a lot of issues, you know, like with the paint job. So it's always been the thing with Bandai over the years. They're expensive. They have some really nice licenses, but man, you know, they can have a lot of issues. Now, I don't know nowadays because I haven't been collecting them, but I know they're still popular. But I've seen people still making the same complaints, you know, for a while. But the quality is there. I think it's getting better in some ways. This figure doesn't look bad. Of course, they're prototypes. No crazy about this face from Rio. I think Storm Collectibles does better with their likeness. But as you can see, all this stuff is already for sale. They got some Cowboy Bebop stuff. Pretty cool Cowboy Bebop stuff. This is very nice figures. Very nice figures. They showcase this at Toy Fair. This is stuff also here. As you can see right there. Love the sword. Love the face. I don't know how this one is going to be, but I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. Or $150 perhaps. Vicious coming on November 19. They also showcase a lot of their Godzilla stuff. This is not cheap at all. They're expensive. But definitely they have a lot of detail. Love the detail actually. It's not bad on these figures. I think they look better than the ones that are produced by NECA now. They have more articulation, of course. They're as a SH Figure Arts. They have more articulation than those NECA ones. Love that. Mothra really looks good. I think that's Mothra, yeah. Love the detail. I'm not crazy about the mount. I think it needs more detail, the paint job. What is that? That's a big one. Maybe just display. Now they had the Voltron stuff. Voltron was also popular back when I was a kid. I think Voltron was, after Mazinger Z, Voltron was the one that came afterwards. And then, of course, Robotech. And then Saint Seiya. And then Dragon Ball. That's how pretty much things were really hitting and very popular back in the day. A lot of kiddish stuff. These are more like toys. Well, all toys. But I like that Voltron. I think all these parts put together create that. Not so sure. It's kind of neat though. So we went back to it. Now, Tamashii Nations, let's see if they have something else here. I don't think they had anything else, but I'm gonna go to Figure Art because they also, on the first day of San Diego Comic-Con, they've been doing lately a Dragon Ball showcase, and this is pretty much handled by them, and they showcase a lot of the stuff that they have. And let me go to, let me see if I can find it. I'm on figures.com. I saw it right there. That's the Gundam. Wow. I don't see it there. Dragon Ball World Adventure and Guinness World Record. Oh, let me go back first to, before we go to that, they do have a display here. So let me, I like the photos. Right there, Dragon Ball World Event. Excuse me. So they have some figures there to showcase. We're gonna look here first here, and this is the Dragon Ball stuff. The Tamashii Nations, the Bandai was also showcasing there. So as you can see, it's a special event they do outside of the arena. But what they do is they showcase a lot of their figures. So they have a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. Many of this stuff you can find. I think you can order now through Big Bad Toy Store. Some of them you can get there, but you can also get a lot of these figures at GameStop. You know, they do sell a lot of their stuff, the Dragon Ball stuff. You know, Dragon Ball is very popular here in North America. I wouldn't say that I'm crazy about the knee. They could hide it more. The articulation. It's kind of cool. They can open up like that. As you can see, now with the video game, I haven't been playing the video game. The last one, the Dragon Ball Fighters, I haven't. I've been playing a little bit, but not much like I should. I like the game. Not crazy about the power here in his hand. Color is fine. Yet the fake looks a bit tacky. But love the portrait. Love the sculpt on this figure. You can see Broly in the back. Super Broly. Zamasu with the big arm. Broly looks good. These are coming out August 19th. This is August 19. Right there is Broly, Super Broly. That figure looks good. Like that one. Nice detail. different angles again from the same figure. I think they were showcasing that. They got other figures they were showcasing. I love this figure art Zero. They're more static, you know. I love this Goku right here. Bulma. She looks great. Piccolo. This is the original Piccolo in the series. That Piccolo looks good. It looks good. That Piccolo looks really neat. It looks like the original Piccolo. They didn't have the picture of the dragon back there. That's a neat dragon. Of course, they got more pieces right here. Look at Nappa. That's Nappa's huge. This is like the original for Dragon Ball Z. You can see they have more super neat figures. Super Saiyan Broly. Right there you can see the dragon. You can see Goku on the cloud. Master Roshi. Man, they added more pictures since last night. Look at this one. Nice angle. Love this one. I'm probably gonna get that one. Cool. The figure art Zero, they're not that cool. They're not that bad, I'm sorry. They're cool. I think we started again. Definitely pretty good. Now let me go to figure art. Let's see if we can get it. I think they also have some other pictures or some other statues like Banpresto stuff. They were showcasing the same things. They had some gashapon, the tiny little things that come in little capsules. People love those gashapons. Let's see the pictures they have here. So yeah, before the event, what they do is that they present anything that has to do with Dragon Ball. They have Bandai, they showcase video games, they showcase the toy lines, they showcase a lot of stuff that has to do exclusively with Dragon Ball, which is extremely cool. Look at this one, this pretty neat. I don't think that's for sale, but they were just showcasing it. Of course, you already saw that display. We saw that display. Look at that one. Cell looking good there. Take pictures. These are the Banpresto stuff. Some of the stuff that ends up on GameStop. Pretty nice figures. I've seen a few of them. They're really neat. Now I want to say that I'm too crazy about the color scheme, like this, you know, highly color stuff that they do when they do it. Let me go to GameStop website. They have some Banpresto stuff there, but I don't see the Dragon Ball figure. Well, they have some of the Dragon Ball Sculptures Land Special Version figure. I like this one. Some of the little things they use. Banpresto World figure trunks. Those are like $34 new, which is not bad at all. I went to the last one. Some of those figures I seen, like My Hero Academia, they're not bad. Like, look at this one. Dragon Ball Z Grandista Super Saiyan Son Goku Manga Dimensions. These are $48.98, so they're like $50. And sometimes when they go into these specials, they know really, people don't buy them or something. They're super cool. Definitely, I love the prices, and they're not bad. You know, for vinyl stuff, Banpresto stuff, they have some really nice prices. As you can see, the figure, the $17.48 for the Dragon Ball on the cloud. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball, that Goku on the cloud. That makes me think that I need to go to my local. I haven't been in GameStop in a while. I need to go there and look at if they have any statues that you can see. Definitely extremely cool. So definitely they have some stuff there to showcase. I love this one. Also Banpresto figures, the ones that we were looking at. A lot of the collection stuff they do. These are more like a little statues of vinyl, PVC but they're super cool. You can find them at GameStop mostly. Very nice stuff. And this is the Gashapon stuff that come in the capsules. I used to collect some Gashapon stuff some years ago, probably around 10 years ago. I used to collect a lot of Gashapon stuff. I stopped collecting that. But they can get addictive for sure. They're small figures, more Banpresto stuff. This actually looks neat, but I don't like the color stuff. They need to change that. These are sold at GameStop. Look at this one. Vegeta right there. So this is just the showcase they have. More statues there. And I think that's it. There's nothing else. So definitely that was pretty cool. Well, I can tell you one thing. And this is the thing with these companies is that definitely Banpresto, Bandai, Tamashii Nations, they were doing a lot of stuff for Dragon Ball. There were other things that were showcased there also for other lines that Tamashii Nations was doing, but we're not gonna cover that. Some stuff was, I think, for Star Wars, but we're not gonna cover now. I'm gonna cover it in a separate video when we do Hasbro stuff. But they were doing some stuff for them as well. But definitely, it's not bad. I like what they do. Now, there's another line that they cover. There's another company that's the Storm Collectibles. And Storm Collectibles is definitely, to me, one of the highlights of pretty much the show. So we're going to go back again to a Toy Arc. Let me look it up first. But man, I can tell you one thing. The stuff is super awesome. There's some Storm Gears of Water added to display, but we're not gonna start with that one. We're gonna start with the first one. So let me go to the bottom. This one. And as you can see right there, that huge Doomsday, but they have figures for Injustice. These are 1/12 scale, so they're pretty neat size. They got Injustice stuff. They got Lobo, Bane, Doomsday, Darkseid. They have Mortal Kombat stuff. You know, something people really like about him. Cyrax, Sector, Mortal Scorpion, Baraka, Ninja Smoke. They also have Street Fighter stuff, what everybody loves. They had a San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, God, Kami, and Bison. They all for the first time showcase. They got the Ultra Street Fighter stuff. They got Gears of War stuff. They got a Golden Axe, King of Fighters 98, which is nice. They got some really nice stuff. They got World Hero stuff, and they have Tekken 7. So we're gonna go through all of that. Definitely super cool stuff. And as you can see, Lobo right there. This is stuff for this is pending approval. This is stuff for Injustice 2. I like their figures, in my opinion, more than the figures that are showcased by Haya Toys. Haya Toys are smaller. These are a little larger, but love the detail. Of course, this is still pending approval, but man, it looks pretty good. Now this one I like. It's kind of like in the video game. Not too crazy about the paint job with the arms at the veins, but it's accurate. I just think that probably they need to soften that a little bit. But the sculpt looks great. Look at that from that angle. Looks great. It's a good sculpt. Storm Collectibles have some great sculpts. Darkseid. Not crazy about Darkseid. This portrait, this version of the video game. Not a fan of it, but it's accurate. Doomsday. Iron Studios, man, has a really nice 1/10 scale statue, so it's larger than this. They have this 1/10 line. Man, that Doomsday looks great. I'm probably gonna get that one. Pretty nice sculpt. Pretty nice details. I don't think it's the best line that they offer, but definitely it's not bad. I was picking my nose, sorry. Actually, I like scratching it. This is as you can see, the Mortal Kombat stuff. Some really cool stuff. Bloody too. Very popular. These are not cheap at all. We're gonna look at the website for prices in just a moment. Look at that bloody Scorpion. That guy's about to be decapitated. They're super cool figures. Look at that. They make his power right there with this plastic thing. That's a pretty neat idea. So you can cover another one. You can put him right there and put it in. That's a pretty cool idea. Pretty nice toy. Really cool job there. Really great. They really had a nice display. They have a lot of stuff in separate little things that you can see in the background. There's different cases. So they display stuff like that separately, which I was pretty neat. So they can make some really nice displays. Look at Baraka. He looked great. Now we have a Scorpion. Looking good. And this is the thing, to me, the highlight of the show was the Comic-Con exclusive. It was the Sagat, Bison, and of course Kami and Guile. But my favorites are the two on the back. Those two. You know, the classic Guile and the classic Sagat. Those are fantastic. The job in this pieces is great. Love the paint job there. The price was, like, you can see the price is what? I don't know. It's available now. I don't know how much it is. I don't see it. The light doesn't allow. It's reflected there. We'll look in a moment. She looks great. That sculpt is good. Good sculpt, good paint job. I want to say thank you for those that are watching the stream. I appreciate your time. And let me see. Again, this picture looks great. She looks fantastic. Definitely did a good job with that. Everything. The portrait is good. But man, I still remember when Soda had the Sagat. Love the Sagat. It was hard to get for me. It took me a while to get it. Expensive to find it. But man, look at this. Great piece, great detail. And this is a lot better than that piece. A lot better. Great detail. Fantastic job. And Guile looks fantastic. I think NECA did some pieces that were fine based on the Street Fighter 4. They were fine. But they're a little out of scale with the Soda. I still have, probably you guys see my video of the one done by Soda, which I like. I like it because he had a lot of things there. Great detail and all that. Great sculpt and all that. But I think this is superior to that one. And then they have this one, of course, the classic right there. Love the detail. Dimensions are great. You can see the classic outfit for Sagat. You have Ken. You have Ryu. Classic Ryu, $75. So each one is $75. That's the average price. They're pretty good. Love the colors. They're a little brighter than I would expect. Even though I think the color scheme on the original Sodas was better. I think it was less brighter. But this is, I think, a good interpretation. Great job with everything. Great detail. Perfect overall. But they also were showcasing a lot of stuff for Gears of War. And as you can see right there, love Gears of War. I have played that game many times. Love the series. This is from Gears 5. So, of course, they also have the pieces. Great scale. Love the 1/12 scale. Pretty good job here with them. Pretty good color, paint job as well. Pretty good sculpt. This is not bad. Mostly based on the game, so it's kind of accurate. Not crazy about the dimension in his face though, but that has nothing to do with the figure. I don't like the dimensions or the way they made it thinner and younger and all that. So the look in the game. She looks okay. She doesn't look bad at all. He looks great. Maybe the gun needs a little more work. They also were showcasing this. This is pending approval. And from Golden Axe. But the thing is this with this one is that on the Toy Fair, they were only showcasing the figure. Now they showcase the dragon, which is nice. Pretty cool addition to it. Really love the detail. This is going to be a nice figure. I think this is going to be a great figure to add to any collection. Really cool job there. Really cool. I think that's perhaps the best figure they had on display. Great reveal. They did a fantastic job with that. Really like what they did with this one. Great job. And of course, they got the, in this case, the SNK Neo Geo stuff, which I'm really a big fan. Terry Bogard. They got the guys from World Heroes. Ayori right there, looking good. The face needs some, it's too soft in my opinion. Terry Bogard is perfect in my opinion. Now this guy looks great. I love World Heroes. I really love World Heroes. It was a tough game to sometimes to beat. You know, it was never comparable as Street Fighter, but definitely introduced some really neat mechanics. Love the way they did the dragon. Very nice work with that. Makes the piece stand out. You know, I really like the way they did it. They have the Tekken stuff, Tekken 7. Nice figures. We have seen this before. We saw him in Toy Fair. But now they have the packaging to showcase. Really nice sculpt on this one. Shin Kasama. That power looks okay. The thing coming out is their eye. But the figure looks good. They did a good job with it. And of course we end with this one. Cool. Definitely they did showcase a lot. I could tell you one thing, and now we're definitely Store Collectibles is probably to me the highlight of one of the highlights of this convention as usual. They didn't brought a lot of new stuff. They brought some stuff that already showcased in Toy Fair, but the stuff they showcased was pretty good. And you know, I like what Storm Collectibles is doing. Slowly but surely, they're releasing figures, and every figure is you know, it has great reception. And definitely the price point is fair for what they're offering because they come with all the little switch out parts, really give you so many options for display, which is always good. And definitely this is probably one of the companies that I was really always excited to I'm looking forward to. Everything else was surprising with Square Enix. Of course, you got I think the price is too high for what they offer, but I know right now with the Final Fantasy VII remake, you know, people are excited for it. Toynami loved it. In this case, the Robotech stuff. In this case, the Acid Rain stuff looking pretty good. Those are expensive, but I love the detail. With Tamashii Nations, they had a big array of stuff. Love the stuff they're doing with the Star Wars, the reimagining with the samurai stuff. Love that kind of stuff. Some great stuff from Dragon Ball. And of course, some collectibles with all the different lines are doing great. So definitely there's a lot of good stuff there. I don't know what your opinion is. Anything that you like on this lineup, or anything that you're excited for, anything that you don't like, anything that of this that I showcased today in this particular video that you're not happy with. Let me know. If I missed something also, let me know. If I made a mistake, just correct me in the comments below. So once again, I want to say thank you for watching. I'm coming back at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to cover on the next live stream. I think we're going to cover Mattel stuff. We're going to cover a lot of Mattel. They didn't have, I would say, a lot of stuff that I was crazy about, but they do have some stuff that we need to point out. And of course, they start with the Masters of the Universe. We're also going to talk about Super 7. They had some news for Thundercats and some other releases for their the Masters of the Universe line. And we'll talk about McFarlane Toys. I think McFarlane Toys didn't showcase as much stuff on Toy Fair, which I was disappointed. But I think they had stronger booth presence on San Diego Comic-Con. So we're going to talk about it. So I'll see you at 1 p.m. and take care, my friends. I'll talk to you in a moment. Bye-bye.